Okay, I hope I'm live again. That was weird. So the game just randomly crashed on me, and for whatever reason, Sony doesn't allow you to stream the system menu or whatever. So it just ends the stream automatically when you're not playing a game anymore for some reason. But yeah, for whatever reason my game crashed, which is the first time ever that Elden Ring has crashed, I think. I'm pretty sure. That was something weird that I did not expect either. What a weird timing for a crash, right? Huh. But yeah, what the hell is... I mean... As always, there's a bunch of different explanations for this, right? So either... Okay, let me just quickly make sure that the stream is still going. Seems to be fine on my end. Let me just very quickly open up stream just to make sure. I just don't want to get into a situation where maybe, it doesn't work properly or something. But, yeah, okay. No, everything all right. Well, I honestly don't know what to make of this. So, a few possibilities, obviously. Either they have been killed by somebody who is against the Golden Order, right? Against the Erdtree. Considering their age, they might have also just died. I mean, maybe they were here praying to the Erdtree when the shattering happened or something, but then again, the way they're sort of... I mean, they look like corpses that have been left behind after they were killed, right? They don't look like they died in that specific spot, so... I wonder if something... Well, what would have happened here, though? And why the hell would it be connected to the spirit of Godfrey? Bunch of holy grease. So I assume these were at one point probably used for rituals. Whatever those might have been. Considering that we're using these tiers of the Crimson Flask and whatever, the imagery of this grail seems to be very closely connected to that. So I assume this has something to do with like life force or something similar being, I don't know, extracted or utilized in some sort of ritual. But yeah, all these dead finger reading crones, honestly, they do look like they've been killed. Which, I don't know. Would that be connected to this weird spirit here, though? Why is there a spirit of the first Elden Lord here? What the hell? That just seems so incredibly random, doesn't it? I mean, obviously not entirely. We are getting very, very close to the Erdtree. So, in theory, the fact that, I don't know, some form of leftover spirit of the first Elden Lord would try to maybe protect it or something, in a way that does make sense. It's just... it's so strange when you consider everything else. Also, what the hell is going on here? That looks like water that's been frozen in time or something. Try jumping? No, it's actually moving. Maybe it's just very, very still water. Why is that here? What the hell is going on with this place? I honestly didn't expect this to get so weird. That is definitely... Very surprising. But as I said, now that I have this Site of Grace, let's actually go back to the Round Table Hold and see if anything's changed, or if we can maybe ask about why this place is based on some other place. It seems so strangely random, doesn't it? Also, the last time I was here, the smith was sort of talking to himself, which now apparently he doesn't do.
I took you no matter to lay out your own.
Wait,
Back already, no matter.
Didn't miss anything. Which now I'm even more curious if these doors are ever going to open up and lead somewhere. I mean, where would they lead, right? Are we in some sort of alternate version of the world? Are we anywhere at all? Do they maybe just lead to nothing? Because we're in some sort of...
In this ash, it reminds me...
other dimension? The thing is, these doors were open. And that's probably one of the strangest things about this, is that the middle doors have been closed the entire time. And so far... I haven't really paid that much attention to it. Mostly because I thought that, well, they probably would open up at some point and maybe reveal something. The strangest part about all of this was always that we do have this balcony here, and you are always able to look down, right? And there are a ton of bloodstains down there. Obviously, the door in this case is closed. Everything else seems to be closed as well. I'm just wondering, are those bloodstains, but if people would jump off from here, land down and be killed because they land down there, the bloodstains would be up here, not down there. So I wonder if I should just try jump down and see what happens. I have a feeling... So the one thing that I've always been thinking about is that maybe there is some sort of endgame enemy down there that you can encounter later on. And... But now I'm not so sure anymore. I mean, clearly there seems to be something that is killing people. But that might also be because you're supposed to enter it maybe from somewhere entirely different. I mean, again, maybe there is some sort of other point in the lands between that potentially opens up to this place in particular. This room looks entirely different, interestingly enough, right? In the other version, this room had just a bunch of bookcases and nobody in it. And this I'm still also not really sure about. I mean, honestly, I could just try jumping down there. Maybe there is something that we can discover. I don't think that it'll be bad, right? I don't... Okay, so he still has the same dialogue as last time. I wish we could ask them about it, right? I get it's supposed to be some sort of secret, but the fact that you can't ask is just kind of strange, right? It doesn't really make sense. It doesn't really... I don't know, it's just... Really don't know what to make of it, to be honest. Okay. So theoretically, I would have always been able to do this. Hi! I know you now! Reverential bow. Okay. So this guy is just here. And it's not very strong, apparently. Bye-bye. Taunter's tongue. So that tongue will probably explain what he's about. Well, that also explains why we found his body here, then. So, I guess I could have done this the entire time already? Is this something that is just... Well, I mean, it's not even really a secret, right? It's just something that you can always do when you're in the Round Table Hold. You can just jump down here and try to fight him? What the fuck? Okay, is that a key item, or what the hell is that? Oh, right, I need to give this to the other guy. Or is that some sort of weird weapon? Or is it a talisman? I also completely forgot that I got a 4th talisman slot as well. I need to think about what I can equip there. Wait, is it a talisman? Honestly, I'm slightly mad at myself at this point that I've never tried to just jump down here. I always assumed that since you have those giant doors to the right and left, that, you know, whatever happened here would just be something that I don't know, eventually opened up on its own? Okay, seriously, what the fuck is it? Taunter's tongue. Is it a weapon? Looked like an actual tongue, though. He was fighting with a scythe, though, right? Did I ever read about this, by the way? Inquisitor's Journal. Instrument of torture used on nobles behind the curtain at the volcano manor at Mount Gelmir. Its numerous spikes pierce the flesh and singe the wounds with flame. The smell of burnt blood induces despair in the victim. A candlestick conceived by a thorough mind. Holy shit. This exists in 2 different variants, which is also interesting. Okay, seriously, what is it? Where is it? Maybe it's here somewhere? Oh, there it is! It's an online play item. Lures in invaders. This allows your world to be invaded without any third-finger cooperators present, and it also shortens the interval between windows of opportunity for invasion. Additionally, enables the arrival of a second invader to join when a cooperator is present. Oh, so that's what people that want... Oh, that is so awesome! How cool! That's also why you get it this way. So it's specifically, I guess, placed here. By the way, this is where FromSoft really shines, right? I'm really not okay with a lot of decisions that they've made in this game. But on the other hand, there are these decisions that just seem so otherworldly brilliant. I don't even know how to put it, like how to say it any other way, right? Because this is brilliant. Not only is it, you know, a little bit of a secret, you almost have to overcome. I know it's not like theoretically, you know, it's just a game. You can just respawn, but somehow I actually felt that I actually feel it's a little bit of a big deal to have the courage to just take the plunge, right? And to just say, oh, fuck it. I don't care whatever's down there. I don't care whether or not it's some sort of endgame thing or whatever. I'm just going to jump down and see what's happening and see who I'm going to fight. But then at the same time, it's not only the small secret, but the fact that you have to kill this guy is you can look at it almost as like a tutorial, right? Or some sort of initiation, right? A challenge that you have to overcome in order to be able to get this item and then use it, right? And be invaded. Which sort of guarantees that people that are not really familiar with the game can't just get this item and use it on accident or something and be discouraged or mad when they get invaded all the time and maybe they forgot about it or whatever, right? So it's a really, really cool way of sort of tucking an item like that somewhere where it's easily accessible for the people who know about it and also rewards you for being able to overcome sort of this initial challenge. That's such an awesome... This is brilliant game design, honestly. It's just brilliant. Though, it also does leave behind a little bit of a disappointment for me personally now, because somehow I expected there to be more here. So I guess these side doors in this version of the Roundtable Hold just never open up. This is just going to bring me back to... yeah, well, up there probably, right? Yeah, it really, really makes me wonder if these doors are ever going to open up and what the meaning behind this is. Like, it's strange to me that this guy would be here because, well, this is our sort of familiar Roundtable Hold, right? The quote-unquote peaceful one. Yet this guy that, according to the description on his clothes, has sort of been almost thrown out of this place. I don't know, it's so strange that he would still be here and fight you even, right? Cypher Pater. What? Gets stranger and stranger by the minute. Is that a weapon? It is. A fist weapon. One of the weapons originating from the two fingers, so it's similar to the sword that I found. A formless sequence of ciphers comprise its blade. As such, no shield can repel it, deals holy damage. The furtive inscription appears to hang in the air, the language of light spoken by the two fingers. Honestly, that almost looks like the Elvish script or something from The Lord of the Rings, right? This is a fist weapon, though? Weird that it exists both as a fist weapon and a sword. What a random item to place down here. I mean, not entirely random, but now I'm even more confused than before. What's the deal with the Roundtable Hold? Why are there two versions of it? Why does one seem deserted? Why does it seem as if this version is somehow in the past? And then you go towards the Erdtree and suddenly there is this spirit of the first Elden Lord just randomly there, and that's it? And what? Huh? Also, does nobody care? Did they just sort of accept that this guy was still down there and just waited for somebody to kill him off, or what? Huh? Honestly, I just don't know what to make of this anymore. I don't know. I'm weirdly intrigued and disappointed at the same time. Intrigued because I feel like there might be more secrets to this that I just don't know about yet. But also disappointed because apparently, at least at this point, it doesn't really lead anywhere, right? It doesn't really give me anything or show me anything or whatever else there might be. Okay, do I want to try and run back to Scribe Corin? Because I could give him the book, right? Maybe I should try that before I venture onwards. Man, I don't know. I feel weird. I get this weird feeling that I'm looking for answers that might never come. Which is... Now I'm sort of getting a little bit anxious about whether or not the game might disappoint me in that regard. And maybe not give me certain answers that I think should be there. Also, I think am I kidding me? Oh no, never mind. I can just... Let's go this way and just drop down. I just want to quickly get to the Colosseum. I can't summon my horse, no. So, let's just quickly go down here. Just need to make sure that that guy isn't following me. Yeah, I don't... Oh, one of them probably fell down. I don't really want to, you know, be too, I don't know, too harsh on the game or anything, because I feel like I've been criticizing it plenty throughout the playthrough, but that being said, somehow I think that I don't know, a bunch of these things just seem almost too random to make sense.
Was that you? Yes, the Master is still ceased. And after coming all this way, why now, of all times? That is a work of heresy. Its incantations bear no lineage from the Erd Tree.
They don't?
Very well. I'll take it off your hands. I cannot afford to maintain my innocence any longer. I must dirty my hands to test my faith.
Wait, didn't it say something along the lines of...
The most meager of hints. I will do whatever I can to help my master.
I thought it said something along the lines of this being a book that is connected to the Two Fingers. Why would it be a work of heresy then? I thought it was... What? It literally says, incantation bestowed by the Two Fingers upon the tarnished deemed worthy of becoming a lord. Why would this be heresy? Isn't that precisely what I am meant to do? Or is he just saying that if you're not Elden Lord yet, you're not supposed to have it? Heals a massive amount of HP for the caster and nearby allies. Hold to continue praying, delay activation. Tarnished, oh tarnished, seek the Erd Tree and stand before Marika, its queen. Become the Elden Lord. Honestly, I don't know what to make of this anymore. Lord's Aid. Alleviates buildup of poison, blood loss, and sleep for the caster and nearby allies. Additionally, cures poison. Also, can you... Wait. Alleviates buildup of poison blood. That's quite good, isn't it? I can actually buy both, so let's just do it since I'm here anyways. Also, let's get this. Let's just collect them at this point. Why not? Now I'm even more confused. Why would he say that that is heresy? What the hell? Okay, so before I forget again, let's actually use the golden seeds. Flasks, Add charge to flask. Yes. And also, let's think about what might be a good 4th talisman for my build. I wonder if there's a 5th slot at some point. Having 4 seems to be very powerful already, doesn't it? I could just go with this now that I have it. I mean, just slowly restoring HP. Honestly, the thing why I think this might be quite effective in Elden Ring particularly, and especially compared to the other FromSoft games, is because a couple of bosses or enemies in general sometimes don't really give you that many options to attack. So if you dodge a bunch of times, it might be cool to get some HP in between. The thing is, usually though, with these kinds of items, they're very, very slow to replenish HP, right? Which means that ultimately, it's probably not that beneficial compared to other things that I could equip. The thing is, Marika's Scar Seal would also increase damage taken, even though the attribute increase would probably be pretty great. Strength and dexterity I don't really need. Equipment load, I could change my outfit potentially, but that's about it. Oh, I can also get rid of this one. Stamina recovery speed. Maximum stamina, don't really need that either. Vastly raises maximum FP, 163 instead of 147. Not bad. Not really that great either, though. More HP. Again, not bad, but not great either. Physical damage negation, well, I mean, the reason why this could be great is because I massively reduced my damage negation because of Radagon's Source Seal, so increasing that again maybe isn't the worst thing. Technically, all the other talismans that I'm currently using are very offensive, right? So having one more defensive-oriented slot might be a good idea. Because I could also change this around, right? If I realize that an enemy is dealing a specific type of damage, I could just change it to one of the other ones. Or this one, rather. I mean, technically, you switch between these two, I guess. Immunity focus. I could just go with the vitality. Oh no, that's not really that great. Critical hits. Yeah, these aren't that great, I feel like. And then we have, well, Potency of Sorceries could be pretty great. For a time, I had this equipped, right? Technically, this is not the worst thing in the world. I don't know if it raises, I don't think that it would raise the potency of my L2 plus R1 special blast attack from my sword, though, right? Technically, that's not a sorcery, I think. Incantations, increases memory slots. I definitely don't need that. Walls and breath attacks, perfume items, Charged spells and skills. I very rarely use charged stuff. Poise, Attack power with lower equipment load, raises fire attack, lowers damage negation, lightning attack, holy attack. Ooh, right, that also increases, reduces damage and impact of headshots. Raises attack power when HP is at maximum. That's actually quite the difference, I just noticed. Raises defense when HP is at max. Holy fuck! Okay, that's a massive difference. What the hell? Compare that to the physical damage negation. So this gets me to 23 instead of 11.9. This gets me to 38. I mean, I realize it's only when HP at maximum, but holy fuck. That's a massive difference. To be honest, I mean, I want to keep the other talismans equipped, mainly because I like the shortened spell casting time a lot, and I also like the increased intelligence. Technically, what you could do, obviously, is you could try and combine the Blessed Dew talisman with this, right? Because then if you just stay out of range or whatever for a period of time, you would basically automatically heal up again and get your defenses back. The one thing that I don't like about this is that you can be very, like, it can also work against you if the first hit that you take while still at maximum HP won't damage you at all or very, very little, and you think, oh, this is fine, right? I can take a couple more hits, and then the second and third hit just blast you away, right? Because suddenly your defense is much, much lower. So in that regard, I don't like it that much. The offensive stuff would actually make more sense in a way. This has attack power in general. Raises attack power. For some reason, it also seems to increase the attack power of my staff. I don't know. This makes me think if maybe I should get rid of this one, the raised intelligence. Wait, what actually happens when I... Okay, see, so technically, this decreases the attack power of my staff by 4. Conversely, having this equipped increases my attack power by 8. So, in theory, it would be better for me to equip this and combine it with this. At least it would be worth a shot, rather than just flat out raising my intelligence by 5. I could also go back to this one, which I had equipped for a very long time, but... These are more special ones, right? These are more PvP-focused ones, I feel like. Or online in general. This is just kind of boring. Honestly, I wonder if I should try that. Having the passive HP regeneration and then increasing my attack power with this. It might be worth it. The better physical defense, again, would also be pretty cool, but I just see problems with this, for me personally, of underestimating certain stuff. And just going with flat out, I mean, obviously, yeah, I could go with this as well. You know what? Let's try. Let's try equipping this in combination with this. And if the HP regeneration is so slow that it ultimately never helps, or where it feels like this combination that I'm trying to achieve here, where I just passively regenerate health to get back to maximum. If this doesn't work the way that I hope it does, I can always just switch it back and go with another combination of talismans, right? I mean, this is something that you can easily switch around, so... Okay, let's get back into it. So if I think... First of all, let's try this. I think this just kills me, yeah, okay. I was actually rather curious about this because I very much suspected that the message was false. That prompted you to jump in here. But that being said, it just looked so strange, right? This just looks strange. That looks like water that's just way too quiet. But yeah, I think that this probably will... Oh, hello. This will probably lead back down into the city, right? Yeah, I think so. So that should get me to the last remaining areas that I'm still missing in the city itself. Is there an enemy here somewhere? What are these messages about? What? Item? Versus item, okay. Nothing else though, huh? Maybe I should actually go on top of this root thing here first though. Because that seems to have a bunch of items, but doesn't ultimately get to any kind of new area, it seems like. I mean, that's clearly the way to continue, right? I guess I very much suspect that that will get me to Morgott. And then what happens after it? Absolutely no idea. I mean, again, there are still a bunch of areas that I haven't been to yet. But at the same time... Well, I guess this is actually the way to continue, isn't it? Okay. What the hell? Wait a second. How? How are you supposed to get up there? Oh, oops. That's not what I wanted to do. gives me an opportunity though to take another look. So I thought that this was the way to continue, but apparently it isn't. This also just leads to another one of these grails, whatever they are. Yeah, I'm really curious about what potentially happened here to these finger reading crones. So many weird and potentially awesome secrets, aren't there? Okay, so I guess you're meant to do this somehow? What? Is there a way to drop back down onto that? Or... I mean, that item looks weird in general. Would you be able to get there? I hate jumping up on railings like this. Running and then jumping. Yeah, it looks like it would almost be possible to do this. Same as the other one. Nah. This can't be the right way to access that. That's just weird. Although then again, what would be the... Oh no, never mind. Yeah, okay, so the point of coming up here would be to continue the actual level. But the other staircase over there was blocked, right? Is this really what you're supposed to do? This just feels wrong. There isn't even enough space to really start running. What the fuck? Okay, am I missing something? Feels like I'm missing some potential other... But, I mean, that just leads over there. That gives you access to the upper portion, which apparently isn't really accessible through any other means. Unless there is a way to get onto the roof. I mean, that looks like maybe you're somehow able to drop back down? Wait, maybe can you loop around on the outside or something? Let me take another look at this. So maybe from the outside you'd be able to jump onto the roof? Ah, see? This looks much more like it. Yeah, this is the correct way, okay. I was thinking that looked way too weird to be the actual access point. Okay. Can get onto this roof as well, but doesn't seem to be anything there. Okay, let's do it then. Let's come over here. And also now I can actually see this staircase. I mean, I was able to see it from the other side as well. This leads down to sort of the upper portion of the city that I wasn't really able to get to yet. Which, looking at it from here, it doesn't seem to be too big. Oh, we have a chest. But once again, these particular routes weirdly they... Oh, Erdtree bow. Bow, not bow. Did I say bow? Erdtree bow. Longbow featuring Erdtree styling. In times of old, when faith and battle went hand in hand, this weapon was created in tandem with the golden arrow. Scales all arrow damage with faith, revealing its true worth when used with wholly infused arrows. Seems pretty great. But yeah, these roots, I'm really wondering whether or not they... Hey, Celestial Juice. I'm really wondering whether or not the roots were here originally and just didn't grow out because they were properly tended to. Or maybe they were here originally and just accepted as part of the design, so to speak. Golden Order Principia. What's that guy even doing in there? Why is he hanging in the middle of the room? Is that how they did this? Did they have the priest or whatever hanging in the middle of the room and talking to everybody else? But yeah, the roots, I don't know. I'm really, really curious about them because they just seem... Really don't know whether or not they would have let them grow out like that. Also, no idea if it's a hint towards anything really, other than that the city has been somewhat abandoned. Okay, what the hell is this book about? Is it another one? Another... yeah. Huh. How weird that suddenly we get more and more of these incantation books. I wonder if you would call this a work of heresy as well. Because it sure as hell doesn't really seem like something of that sort to me, right? I mean, this seems like it would be very much in line with the Golden Order. Prayer book of the Golden Order fundamentalists. Unless being a fundamentalist goes against what he's thinking. A dense and complex academic treatise? How do you pronounce that? That contains the Order's fundamental principles. Can be given to a lone cleric to access the following incantations: Radagon's Rings of Light and Law of Regression. From the name alone, those two seem to be pretty awesome. Well then, let's take a look at the rest of the city here. See what else we can find. I'm also really, really interested to find out what the item on top of that big spear is. Doesn't even look like as if there are many enemies here. Oh, what the fuck? Regression alone reveals secrets. What? I need to write that down. Don't you want to typically avoid regression, though? Very curious placement of this message. And this just looks like a completely normal message. What the fuck? Visions of God. What is going on here? Now I wonder if there's some sort of secret passage between the statue. This just seems way too strange to be placed here. And then with this weird message in front of it as well? Regression alone reveals secrets. I mean, in a way that's true. Definitely, when you really think about it. Well, I didn't even see them before. I think because they wear this white stuff. How the hell did you see me? What the fuck? What was that? It's just running away from me. Okay, sure. But yeah, in a way, when you think about it, if you think of regression in terms of something sort of... well, how would you describe it? If your civilization regresses, right, that is typically associated with everything sort of going downhill, achievements that have been made, progress that has been made, and also potentially wealth that has been acquired is being either lost or destroyed or, you know, in some form or fashion falling victim to... Oh, hello. What's that? Is someone falling victim to... Well, as I said, you know, things just not going the way they're supposed to go anymore, right? Like, maybe there's some sort of civil war that has been breaking out. Whatever you want, right? You can probably come up with all kinds of different scenarios that would fulfill that general idea of a society that's regressing in some form or fashion. And the reason why that reveals secrets is probably because whatever's going wrong in that particular society is probably going wrong for a reason, right? People that don't trust each other, maybe people that have, you know, things against each other, they think wrongly of others, you know, all that kind of neat stuff. Are you serious? I hate that his attack is just slightly too fast, right? I was pretty sure that I actually did... Oh, for fuck's sake. Honestly didn't think I would dodge that. I pressed circle though! Ooh. for fuck! I hate his timing so much! They are so weird! You always think that you did it correctly and evaded him correctly, and then suddenly it still doesn't work. What the fuck? Oh, this is annoying. I wish I could just... I mean, honestly, I should just fight him normally, but... his timings. His timings are really, really annoying. Okay, this gives me a way to look at... Okay, so it's... about 2 HP, maybe even more per second. It's definitely faster than I thought it would be. I mean, it still takes about... It still takes a while, right? I don't think it's necessarily a bad combination, but whether or not it's a good one definitely remains to be seen. Oh, for fuck's sake, that means I... Okay, before I jump down... Oh. That was my medallion, or my talisman activating again. Definitely didn't expect that sound. Barrier of gold. Okay, yeah, before I jump down, I probably want to clear out the rest of this thing, or the rest of this place. It doesn't necessarily look like there's anything to be gained from jumping down onto this roof, though. Doesn't seem there's any type of item there. Give me a second. Yeah. Definitely wanna... Okay, let's see what's actually in this courtyard. And before I do that, let me take a look at the incantation that I just got. Barrier of Gold greatly increases magic damage negation for self and allies. That is strangely less interesting than I thought it would be. Also, then again, what else is it supposed to do? Wait, can you not even act? Well, that's disappointing. I thought you would be able... It looked from the top as if there was some sort of small courtyard in here, but I guess there isn't. Well, I mean... At least that means that this place is... see, I mean, this behind these buildings, but I guess there isn't actually anything in there? Oh well. At least that means that I'm pretty much done here. Hopefully, I'm actually able to grab this item then. Okay. Swear to God, if these dumb knights are gonna shoot at me. Bolt of Gransax. That is literally whatever this is, right? Okay, let's teleport back up before they see me and I can't teleport anymore. That seems to literally be that weapon. If it is a weapon. It is. It's a spear. 40 dexterity, holy shit. Okay, and this lightning damage. That looks absolutely awesome. Okay, it not only does it look very, very long, but I mean, I guess it's some sort of magical spear that can grow bigger, maybe? Spear whittled from the weapon wielded by Grandsax, one of the legendary armaments. Is Grandsax the dragon? Maybe I completely misinterpreted that entire... Yeah. I completely misinterpreted that entire scene. A great ancient dragon, Grandsax once rained calamity upon the royal capital. The only time in historical record that Lanedale's walls have fallen. This marked the dawn of the war against the ancient dragons. Unique skill, Ancient Lightning Spear. Imbue the armament with the ancient dragon's red lightning, then throw it as a spear. Can be charged to increase its power. Okay, hold on. There's a couple of things to unwrap here. So, the only time in historical record that Lanedale's walls have fallen. Well, I guess I'm really confused with the timeline. I thought that the war against the dragons was a long, long time ago. Way, way before the Shattering happened. Maybe even before the Elden Lord was a thing. Maybe I'm wrong on that in terms of the timeline, but it does seem that the war against the dragons is definitely disconnected from the Shattering, right? Okay, so now at least it makes sense that this giant spear is actually sticking in the walls of the capital and not in the dragon, because at first I was really, really confused why, like, this looked like some sort of god's bolt or something, or some sort of giant arrow that could have potentially been used to kill the dragon. But if it was the weapon of the actual dragon, then obviously it makes more sense. Makes me wonder how the dragon died, though. And then also, so if I'm correct in assuming that the fight against the dragons was a long time ago, at least before the Shattering, then why is the dragon still here? Did they just leave it there? Did they not know how to move it? I mean, it's a giant thing, so presumably they could move it? Why would they just keep it there, though? Like, why not do anything with it? Or maybe I am actually interpreting this wrong. The lightning dragon that we fought outside of the walls of the capital, right? Its description said something along the lines of it being aligned with, or allied with, Godfrey. Right? So maybe the war against the dragons was actually after the Shattering or something? But how would that fit? Wouldn't that have meant that the Elden Lord would have had dragons at his disposal? I really can't make sense of this timeline. I just find it sort of... What happened here exactly? So this giant dragon, for whatever reason, said, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna attack the capital. We don't know why. And we also don't know why it died, how they were able to defeat it, because, I mean, it's literally... It's pretty much half the size of the entire city. How would the city be able to defeat it? Also, whatever that is, if it's even his corpse, he seems to have turned to stone or something. Doesn't necessarily look like it's really hurt in any kind of capacity. It just looked like it landed and then turned to stone or something. I mean, maybe they magically seal it or something? I have no idea. This is really, really strange to me. How can you explain that? I mean, I literally got nothing, to be completely honest. I don't know how to make sense of this. don't know why this dragon or how this dragon would have died. I don't know why it would still be here as a corpse, why his weapon would still be here. You would also assume that they would have, I don't know, tried to use his weapon, right? Maybe melted into smaller pieces, or... I mean, apparently this part of it that I now have was clearly still there. Why did nobody ever pick it up? But yeah, I guess the really most important part and missing piece of information here is simply how this all fits together in some sort of timeline. Because that, personally, for me, seems to be the biggest issue. I mean, look at that thing. I mean, I guess the pose that he has looks somewhat as if he was in agony or something. But then again, I walked on it, right? So, shouldn't I have been able to see some sort of maybe giant hole in its bowels or somewhere, right? Potential way of how he might have been killed? Or do you think that the Earth Tree did something that maybe turned it to stone? Man, I just don't know what to make of this. And then with all these dead finger-reading thrones, what the hell happened to this entire place? Oh wait, you're one of the assassins. What are you doing here? What the fuck? Why? Are the assassins... I mean... Was he maybe trying to hinder me to get to the Earth Tree to try and stop me from becoming the next Elden Lord or something? So that I'm not able to reactivate the Golden Order, potentially? What the fuck is going... What the... Huh? What are these things? Why would they place them like this? These are gravestones or something? They've been placed as if they were books. Huh. This chamber is weirdly reminding me of the chamber in Dark Souls 1. Where you find, what's her name? The chest ahead one. The big woman. With the big boobs. Okay, there are a bunch of scrolls here. So I think these stone tablets, in fact, must have been... They must be some sort of ancient texts, right? Ancient books that for some reason were collected here. As if this place is some ancient library or something? Queen's Bedchamber. Oh. Why? So Marika potentially read through all these things? Or wanted to, for some reason? Also, why does she have such a giant stone bed? Blessing of the Earth Tree. I mean, this doesn't look like a bedchamber to me, in all honesty. I mean, you know, it somewhat does. Again, mainly because it's reminding me of Dark Souls 1, but other than that, definitely not a very cozy bedchamber. Oh, hi, Rose Chaos. Stone tablets, old books, yeah. The weird part about it is that throughout most of the game, we've just found books, right? I mean, bookshelves and books in general, you can pretty much find everywhere. So this is the first time, actually, that stone tablets seem to have been purposefully used as some form of knowledge, of accessing knowledge or something. So whatever the queen did in here, clearly she must have sought some ancient secret, possibly. Honestly, considering that these look somewhat similar to gravestones, now I'm wondering whether or not this means, or maybe whether or not this is a reason as to why a lot of the gravestones that you can find throughout the entire game, and the graveyards themselves, why some of them look very sort of roughed up and in disarray. So maybe whomever she tasked with finding these secrets did, a number on all the places, and they just used any means necessary to gain access to these stone tablets and to be able to transport them here. The thing is, I'm trying to think back on whether or not I've ever heard of Queen Marika searching for something specific. Obviously, thinking about the entire story of the game so far, she could have searched for, well, anything really. Obviously, in a world like this, trying to get access to all kinds of ancient secrets, definitely a thing that you should probably do if you want to get ahead of your competition, so to speak. But just find it interesting that I feel like it's never really been explicitly referenced anywhere. Well, and that seems to finally bring me to my goal. Which I assume would be Morgott in this case. Which I still don't really know that much about. Oh well, I only have 8,000 runes, that's really not a big deal at all. It honestly feels surreal finally standing in front of the Earth Tree like this. Oh, hey. Wait, is there also a... Doesn't look like there's a statue of Marika here, though, interestingly enough. Oh, well, the site of grace is right there. Right. That wouldn't make any sense. The reason why this feels strange is that, honestly, there hasn't been that much information about Morgott itself. I have no idea why those mountains have been sealed off, for example. I mean, it said that it was Morgott's seal, but that was pretty much all that I could find out. So, somehow I'm just feeling like I'm still missing a bunch of information. The thing is, I still have the sewers, obviously, as a place that I could go through. I don't know how important they really are. Maybe they're just some optional side area. Maybe they're actually important. I really want to know what's going on here before I go back down there, though. So... There are just so many questions that I have. Also with these roots that are sticking out all over the place. Why do they seem so random? They don't even necessarily look like they're coming from the Earth Tree. Well, then again, it might have just been that, you know, the golden seeds have fallen down and they grew into these roots. Wouldn't they look more like trees, though, in that particular instance? Also, looking at it from this side, it's even stranger that this is a bedchamber instead of a throne room. Wouldn't you expect there to be a throne room here, specifically? Instead of a bedchamber? Whew. Okay. Enough talking. Let's do this. Ooh, cutscene. I was worried there for a second. Interesting looking.
Graceless, tarnished. What is thy business with these thrones? Ah, Godric the Golden. The twin prodigies, Mikola and Melania. General Radahn, Praetor Rykard, Luna Princess Rani, willful traitors, all. Thy kind are all of a piece. Pillagers, emboldened by the flame of ambition.
Whoa. What
Have it
is
writ
that?
upon thy meager grave. Felled by King Morgott, last of all kings.
Do this, but yeah. Well, I expected as much that it wouldn't affect it. Ooh, hello. Okay, he again is of the quicker sort. Okay. Morgott, the Omen King. Well, him being the Omen King definitely explains why does my Mimic so much damage? I was wondering why he's so similar to Morgott from Stormvale Castle, which now also, like, what the fuck is up with that? Why is... Oops, that was the wrong direction. Why is Morgott so similar to this guy? Why are they... Holy shit, that is loud. Why are they both... What is going on with him? Oops. What curse? Can you please explain what the hell you're talking about? Okay, I'm dealing way more damage than I thought I would, to be honest. The Mimic, this is a bit too easy. That's unfortunate. Yeah, somehow I thought this was going to be more complicated. Well, definitely need to do this by myself at some point. Wait, he's still... What? Who the hell are you? Unless this is not over yet?
Tarnished. Not but a fool. The Erd Tree wards off all who deign approach. We are all forsaken.
definitely like the voice actor.
None may claim the title of Elden Lord. Thy deeds shall be met with failure, just as I.
So the reason he is here is because he also wanted to become Elden Lord, but was denied entrance, I guess? Well, he only had one Great Rune though, right? Shouldn't you have known that? Well, now at least the bed chambers make sense, because this very much seems to be some sort of throne room, doesn't it? The thorns up there worry me. That looks as if the Erdtree itself has been corrupted, doesn't it? Clearly he was corrupted by some sort of curse, so... Even though I really couldn't tell why, how that came to be, or what is up with that. And why were these golden thrones still here? Why Miquella and Malenia, even though we haven't even seen them yet? I don't know if... I mean, Gideon talked about them still being there. Which I find quite strange, because for the longest time, I don't know, people have told us that there were 5 Great Runes that we needed to get. Gideon specifically mentioned these, well, these guys that I have now dealt with, right? The 5 Great Runes that I now acquired. But then he suddenly started talking about Miquella and Malenia as well. So I don't know, do we need more Great Runes? Did I maybe misinterpret or misremember something about these 5 Great Runes specifically? But I mean, we are here. I assume that before the Erdtree would grant us entrance, I probably have to go to the other tower, right? To activate this one as well. Which I should probably do. I find it interesting that the fog is still there. And what was going on with him? What kind of curse did he have? And then as well, okay, so he is the king of all omens, which I'm also not entirely sure what the omens specifically want. And then we also have omen killers as well that are a thing for some reason. The problem is, it's been such a long time since I actually fought against Morgott, right? The fell omen from Stormwell Castle. The thing that I'm slightly disappointed by is that his moveset seemed to be very similar to that. He definitely had a couple of other attacks, and his second phase seemed to be very different. I mean, that's definitely a thing that I want to do solo in like a second playthrough at some point, but the Holy Sword attack with the sort of this holy rain that he had was pretty cool. Don't really know what was going on with the ground in the second phase. I don't think it actually damaged me in any sort of capacity. Well, I very much expect this to be closed off. But the fact that there are all these thorns here is really, really worrying. Impenetrable thorns refuse all. None may enter the Erdtree. So, what's really, really interesting, obviously, is this pattern in front of it, right? Because that's exactly the same pattern that you find behind the statue of Miquella. I think it's Miquella, right? Yeah. Like this Well, it pretty much looks like what you would build in your garden when you have like roses or something, like a wall of roses that, you know, you want to grow on a wall. You get these like fence-like things. That's what it looks like, right? Sort of almost like a structure for the roses, or in this case, just the thorns to grow on. So maybe me activating the 5th Great Rune isn't really doing anything at all. Not necessarily because the Erdtree wouldn't want me to come in here, or wouldn't want me to become the next Elden Lord, but because it's been actually sealed off. Not necessarily... I was thinking that it was maybe corrupted by something. Maybe it can't be corrupted? I don't really know. This honestly just seems more like a curse to gate off the Erdtree itself, right? Somehow... Well, I assume Miquella was able to completely seal the Erdtree for whatever reason. Potentially because they don't want another Elden Lord to rise. I mean, this could honestly have a lot of implications and go back to a lot of things that I've already talked about as well, that I felt like, you know, maybe the two fingers are sort of corrupted, or they also strayed from their path, or something is going on with them. I wonder if the Erdtree being sealed off somehow brought everything in disarray. Then again, this must have happened after the Shattering, though. I'm pretty sure. Because Miquella and Malenia definitely are somehow connected, right? And Malenia fought during the Shattering as well. That we definitely know that, so... I honestly didn't really expect that these thorns and therefore, I don't know, rot, curses, or whatever have you, would actually follow me all the way up here to the Erdtree itself. I don't know, somehow I expected that to be more of a sort of a side thing, potentially. Slightly confused why the fog gate is still there. Am I missing some sort of cutscene, maybe? Oh, hello.
Hello again, old friend.
Did you find what you were looking for?
A moment to converse with you. You were unable to enter the Erdtree, no?
Indeed.
Prevented by the mantle of barbs. The thorns are impenetrable, a husk of the Erdtree's being that spurns all that exists without. The only way to stand before the Elden Ring and become the Elden Lord is to pass the thorns. My purpose serves to aid in that very act, so I'd like you to undertake a new journey with me to the Flame of Ruin, far above the clouds, upon the snowy mountain tops of the giants. Then I can set the Erdtree aflame and guide you down the path to becoming Elden Lord.
That rolled medallion. That somehow sounds a bit more ominous. So for the entire time, I was definitely wondering how the flame of the giants and everything sort of played into that. For some reason, it didn't occur to me that it might be possible to use the flame of the giants to burn away the thorns. But then again, I also didn't expect the thorns to literally be, like, holding me, or rather, preventing me from accessing the Erdtree. Honestly, I thought that the Erdtree would be magically sealed, but by me activating the 5th Great Rune, that I would still be granted access somehow. And then, well, I was expecting, I don't know, something else to happen, right? Somebody betraying us, or, I don't know, something occurring that would mean that we would have to go to other places that I still haven't been to. This now makes a whole lot more sense in retrospect, obviously, and, you know, in general. So we need the Flame of the Giants to burn away the thorns. Yeah, I'm really not quite on board with what he said about, she said about burning the Earth Tree. So does that mean that the Earth Tree itself actually has been, I don't know, somehow taken over by these thorns? Why do they need to be burned away? I mean, I guess there is no other way? I mean, when we think about that they're literally around or in front of the Earth Tree, you know, if you would try to do that in real life with fire, you would very, very quickly probably burn the entire tree. So I guess that makes sense. I don't know. Somehow this all seems to be falling apart, right? This isn't at all the sort of journey that we've been sent upon, I feel like. I don't think that whoever wanted us to become Elden Lord necessarily thought about this. Also, what does this Rolled Medallion do? Is it maybe just there to allow us to pass Morgott's seal? Though I would have thought that disappeared simply by us defeating him. And why is she back, by the way? So, when we came to Lanedale, when we first entered the capital, she said something along the lines, oh, you know, our journey has come to an end. Now I'm gonna go to the Earth Tree and find out what my purpose is, so, or something along those lines. Well, obviously she wasn't able to converse with the Earth Tree. We've seen why. I just find it interesting. She now seems to be very, very focused on this, right? Why is she suddenly so convinced that this is the next task that must be done? Whereas previously she was definitely very, let's say, she was somehow, you know, a bit more reserved in what her actual purpose was. A red mark was made on the map. See if she has something else to say.
I wish to journey with you once more to the flame of ruin, far above the clouds, upon the snowy mountain tops of the giants. Then I can set the Erd Tree aflame and guide you down the path to becoming Elden Lord.
Okay, I think she's just gonna, yeah, she repeats that. Find it interesting that they're saying that it's above the clouds. I mean, we have been able to see the mountaintop. It's very far away, or it has been very far away for the longest time, but it's not necessarily above the clouds. But I guess it's very high up, so the description does make sense to a degree. Can I level up, by the way? I think Morgott dropped quite a few runes.
For but a moment, share them with me. Your thoughts, your ambitions, the principles you would follow.
I could just repeat myself. Every time we meet her, I just wish you could talk to her a bunch more. Even just when leveling up or something. That's a very, very big missed opportunity that she only appears so rarely. Is there anything else that I guess? Now it's gone, okay. So this is probably like a mandatory interaction then, which is why the fog was still there. Which makes sense, obviously. I don't know entirely what to make of this still. Somehow it's what I expected it to be, but at the same time it leaves me with a ton of unanswered questions, and also just sort of... Well, I mean, this wasn't the last boss of the game, right? So I guess in that regard, it's fine that it's not necessarily the most unique one. But when I think back to the other ones, Rykard, what's his name? Godric the Grafted, right? I always confuse all the god names. And Radahn specifically. Like, comparatively, this fight is very underwhelming. I mean, obviously, you know, me summoning the Mimic also made it go by very, very quickly, but I don't know, the other ones were much, much more a visual spectacle. Ooh, almost. Oh, sorry. But, somehow Morgott also had, like, way fewer HP? It felt this, like, compared to other boss... I don't know. And then this weird connection... So, in a way, that weird spirit of the first Elden Lord that we fought was more unique than this guy. I mean, it's not a complaint at all, really. I don't even think that this is a bad boss or anything. It had, like, the arena looks cool, the cutscene was awesome, and it makes sense that they would be similar to some degree, right? Morgott the Fell Omen, then the King of Omens, like, it makes sense that they're similar. So I'm not complaining about that, it's just somehow... I don't know, something about them just seems unexpected. Wouldn't necessarily say off, but just very unexpected. But then again, maybe it is precisely because there's still parts of the game left, right? Rolled route. Yeah. So I've already been there, obviously. So now I can unlock that barrier. Let's take a look. Also, what is up with that? So, the rolled route, is there another grand lift there that goes up to the Flame of the Giants? Do we find the second half of this medallion there, or did I miss it somewhere else? In other words, this secret medallion will guide the bearer to the land of Michaela's Helix Tree. Which is something that has been mentioned a couple of times somewhere in the middle of the game and then never again. Which is the same with Michaela. That's a name that has been, you know, said a couple of times and then it never really appeared again for a very, very long time. Conjoined split medallion depicting the Flame Peak. Brandishing the medallion activates the Grand Lift of Rold, connecting Lanedale to the mountaintops of the Giants. The Forge of the Flame of Ruin is said to be found upon their peaks. And it is here Melina wishes to travel and resuming your journey together. So, what is going on here specifically? This looks to be the same medallion, doesn't it? Just that this one has, well, it's blue and has a red thing in the middle, and this one is golden with a green thing in the middle. But if they both activate the Grand Lift of Rold, this says it's granting access to a hidden path. And this just to the mountaintop. So I guess maybe the lift has like 2 different levels or something. And it stops on another one depending on the medallion. Then wouldn't that mean though that I have to somehow get the left one before I venture there? Or... I mean, this could be anywhere, though. I don't even remember where I got this one from. I think... somehow I remember this potentially being connected to that area south of the Academy of Raya Lucaria, where there's this like village of the Albinorics that has been, for some reason, completely destroyed and everybody killed. Where would the left half be, though? I mean, with this one, you get like a very, very clear instruction where the other half is, no matter which one you find first. This one doesn't tell you at all. Hoo boy, this is going to be complicated. Well, I guess before I go to the lift, though, or at least before I activate it, I definitely want to deal with the sewers, though. Maybe through some miracle, that's actually where you find the left half of the medallion. I wouldn't really know why that would be a thing, why it would even be connected, but I guess you never really know. Is this assassin guy respawning, by the way? No. Huh. Interesting. I can talk to her again?
Spoken echoes of Queen Marika.
Oh, I didn't do this before.
Here as well. Shall I share them with you?
Please do so.
In Marika's own words, O Radigan, leal hound of the Golden Order, thou art yet to become me. Thou art yet to become a god. Let us be shattered, both. Mine other self.
What the fuck? What? That sounded as if Marika wanted the shattering to happen in order to do what exactly? Because Radagon wasn't a god yet? This is, to be completely honest, all of the things here, well, to say that they've been blowing my mind is a little bit, like, that's not exactly what has happened. It's more that there is so many weird and almost conflicting pieces of information that you get here that it's really, really hard to tell what this all really means. So far, I don't think we've ever really gotten a hint as to why Queen Marika isn't really here anymore. That seemed to be quite a big secret, and also what her whole deal was. This sounded as if she potentially, like, purposefully made the shattering happen. Maybe in order to come out stronger on the other end for some reason. Maybe somehow the shattering would have allowed Radagon to become a god himself. Potentially through maybe also acquiring great runes or something. But didn't... No, I think I Well, the thing that we still don't really know is why the first Elden Lord, Godfrey, was sort of banished, right? And then Queen Marika remained. Did she still have all the Great Runes, though? Did she still have the entire Elden Ring? Or did she purposefully make the shattering happen in order to reacquire them I feel like I've missed some important information there, or not missed, but I'm maybe misremembering that or something. This is really quite hard to wrap your head around, I feel like. Okay, so what is this, by the way? Oh, wait, the Grand Lift of Rold gets marked on your map as well? That is strange. I mean, there's literally just this one path. Why would they mark both things? Okay, before I continue though, let's actually go back to the Divine Tower. Technically, I should now be able to access that, right? And activate the 5th Great Rune. So maybe we get a bit more information there. And then, oh, hey! This giant actually doesn't respawn. Okay, well, makes sense, I guess. Still really wondering how those flying ruins with the giant storm in the back fit into all of this. That place. What? Well, never mind then. Still not able to access this. Maybe this is connected to something else entirely? Is there another Divine Tower somewhere? Maybe there's one here or something that I missed. This is Godric, this is Radan, Renala, and this one was from Rykard. Maybe there's one here somewhere that I wasn't aware of? I mean, if there is, I'll see it once I continue this way, I guess. What is this tower doing here then, though? Well, whatever. Let's talk to Gideon for a second here. Also, I want to take a look at the remembrance that I got. Morgott, the Omen King, hewn into the Earth Tree. The power of its namesake can belong. Though born one of the graceless Omen, Morgott took it upon himself to become the Earth Tree's protector. He loved not in return, for he was never loved, but nevertheless, love it he did. That is another thing that I'm really struggling to properly grasp. So he, or the Omens in general, are protecting the Earth Tree. Ergo, they're still somewhat following or trying to bring back the Golden Order as well. Yet, maybe because the Earth Tree was closed off, maybe because it has the thorns in front of it, he maybe grew mad because he couldn't really talk to it. He couldn't really... The Earth Tree didn't answer his prayers, if you will. Right? The Earth Tree didn't really return his faith, and so maybe that's why he got cursed or corrupted. Or maybe just being close to the thorns for a prolonged period of time did that. Could also be a thing. That his original goal was actually a good one in protecting the Earth Tree, but then slowly, without even realizing himself, he maybe turned and got cursed. Because of those thorns? Man, there's so many possible answers for this, right? It's very, very hard to really think about that. What the fuck are you doing? Why are you looking like that? That's creeping me out a bit. That's, I think, the first time they've actually done anything of note. Is that supposed to tell me something? Let's talk to her.
Well, you managed to return. You know what this means. The Earth Tree has spurned you. The fingers remain still, shaken by this turn of events. They are busy consulting the greater will. When they are finished, the fingers will again offer their guidance. But thousands, if not tens of thousands, of runes must first pass. No matter for me, but you. How will you ever manage to wait? My, oh my.
So, that's what they're apparently doing? They're consulting the greater will? What's the greater will supposed to be then? And why do they... Are they mimicking being some sort of antenna in order to receive whatever the greater will is telling them? What would the greater will be, though? How's that connected to the Earth Tree? And also, so she talked as if these maidens, right? These maidens that seem to be connected to the two fingers and ultimately are also connected to the greater will. As if they don't really die. Yet we've seen a lot of them seemingly being dead. Close to the Earth Tree, right? Where we fought the spirit of Godfrey. That doesn't really fit, does it? Why are they dead? Why are you still alive? Let's see what she answers if I say that. I want to burn the impenetrable thorns.
Forbid. That is not the domain of mere men. The burning of the Earth Tree is the first cardinal sin. And you say you seek the power of the Rune of Death too? The Rune of Death goes by two names. The other is Destined Death.
Oh, that's the same thing then?
Forbidden shadow plucked from the Golden Order upon its creation. Unleashing the rune now would be unthinkable. The fingers would never permit it. Nor would the greater will. But here we are. The fingers dormant, severing our link to the greater will. The realm and all life in ruins. Impossible events transpire beyond the ken of the fingers. Who is to say that the cardinal sin must be cardinal forever? Go on. Finish the job. Take the course you deem most worthy.
Whoa. They can die, but not from age or really old age. Yeah, that's practically what they're trying to tell us here, I think, right? They can't really die, but something clearly has happened in that cathedral chamber thing that made them all die. If they're really dead, I mean, I guess they could just be cursed to sort of be unmovable forever, if you will. But yeah, something clearly happened there, something that they potentially also didn't really expect. I'm once again very, very surprised by her answer. I never in a million years would I have guessed that she just says, or basically says, oh, well, the two fingers don't answer us anymore, so, you know, fuck it, let's just do it. Okay. I definitely didn't expect that. So she's... The thing that she just said there basically was that she admitted that there might be things beyond the wisdom of the greater will / the two fingers. It's also interesting to get the confirmation that the rune of death and destined death are exactly the same thing. It's weird why they have these two names. At least to me, to my knowledge, that has never really been explained or mentioned why there would be these two different names. I also didn't really pick up on whether or not there was a specific sort of circumstance in which one of them was used or the other one wasn't. Never mind that, though. So, burning the Erdtree, cardinal sin. Okay, makes sense, right? I was right, though, that Melina's idea is potentially dangerous and or, well, can have a lot of potentially really, really negative consequences. So, at this point, I'm just sort of... The reason why I feel so strange about this is that for the longest time we've been told, well, guidance of grace, blah blah, right, golden order, become Elden Lord, and so on. And then we've gotten these conflicting viewpoints, right? We had Ranni, and she basically told us about the Night of the Black Knives, about how the Shattering even came to be. We slowly learned about Rennala and those interesting connections between Radagon and Queen Marika, Rennala, and so on. And slowly, we got a bunch of information where we were basically nudged towards taking a different path, right? Not necessarily the one that's been laid out before us. But now, for whatever reason, it seems as if the original path never really was an option to begin with, right? That we were sort of destined to stray from it anyways, and that the two fingers might have not even had sort of the correct idea to begin with, and we wouldn't have been able to follow their idea even if we wanted to. I mean, I don't know whether or not I already made a decision somewhere that led to this happening. I don't necessarily think so, though. I don't know, somehow this feels like at least the fact that the Erdtree is closed off by the thorns is always a thing. Otherwise, it would be kind of strange. Then again, how should I know, right? But still, I don't know, everything now seems so weirdly matter-of-fact, as if, oh yeah, okay, so, well, we tried getting rid of the people holding the Great Runes, we now have them ourselves, and we got to the Erdtree, but, oh well, we can't get through to it. So now we're gonna burn it. And that's it, basically, right? Suddenly there isn't really any kind of other option, seemingly. I mean, there might be that I just don't know about yet, or maybe there is some other... Maybe I should go back and talk to Rani or something. Maybe she will have input on this. I doubt it, but you never know. It's still such a weird and strange circumstance all of a sudden. And again, especially that now even the finger reader here is more or less agreeing with us, apparently, that, oh yeah, well, if there is no other option, sure, go ahead, right, burn the tree. Well, let's see what else she says.
A smoldering flame in the great forge of the giants on the highest peak in the lands between can burn the Earth Tree, but special kindling is required to reignite the flame. For the flame to burn the Earth Tree, a sacrifice is needed of one who envisions the flame and can lead you to the rune of death.
I have no idea who that might be. You don't have then Grace does, but then you get a maiden, yet Grace still guides you. That is true, yeah. But, well, I mean, the thing is, right, that has always been like a bit of an unusual point, I felt like, because Melina, we did meet her and she came with us, but she also had her own mission, right? She had her own sort of thing where she wanted to find out, well, what even is her purpose, right? So I guess in a way she never truly was a proper finger maiden. That word's still weird, but she never was a it always, at least to me, it always felt like she was definitely different compared to what other Tarnished in the past might have had in terms of guidance. And then it's also, at least as far as I remember, it never has been really quite clear, well, first of all, what the guidance of grace even is, or why certain Tarnished have it, and also why it goes away. Because apparently a lot of Tarnished had it at some point, but then lost it as well. I feel like there's also information there that I still haven't really fully understood. It's... All of this is playing out rather differently than I expected it to, which I very much like. Okay, so the other very interesting thing is, why would there be a special flame? Okay, so I need somebody to reignite the flame, okay, but then why does a flame exist in the first place that specifically seemingly is powerful enough to burn the Earth Tree? It seems like a very curious, very specific sort of build-up. I guess that would, to understand that, you would sort of have to go back to why or how the Earth Tree came into existence. Didn't the Flame of Giants exist before that? Or is it something that might have been, I don't know, started up or invented or whatever to keep the Earth Tree in check if something went wrong at some point? Here, let's see. What can I even get from this? Morgott's Cursed Sword. That looked pretty awesome. This oily blade. Warped blade of shifting hue used by Morgott the Omen King. The accursed blood that Morgott recanted and sealed away reformed into this blade. The accursed blood that Morgott recanted and sealed away. Huh, so that almost sounds as if he's been trying to potentially protect the Earth Tree by sealing curses into his own sword, potentially cursing himself in the process in order to protect the Earth Tree. It might explain his looks, I guess. Cursed blood slice. Brace, then charge forward to deliver a downward diagonal slice. The bloody trail of the blade is followed by a burst of flame. Additional input allows for follow-up attack. Okay. Regal Omen Baron. What the fuck is that? Doll of a curse-born baron from the Earth Tree's royal line. A doll? That's a doll? Uses FP to unleash many wraiths that chase down foes. Omen babies born of royalty do not have their horns excised, but instead are kept underground unbeknownst to anyone, imprisoned for eternity. These memorial fetishes are fashioned in secret. I feel like this could be connected to a whole bunch of things. The thing is, these wraiths that cost FP to chase down foes, that definitely reminds me of these other, like these crawling, noble, humanoid figures that you find all over the place. That can also summon these. Can't really make sense of the description though. Oh man, there seems to be so many. I feel like I'm really missing a bunch of sort of cross pieces of information here. Let's get this. Mostly because I find the information and
Now go forth. Let the words of the
description really interesting.
guide you.
So I guess these fingers are gonna stay like this for a while then? Though I suspect they will probably have to say, or at least do something about us burning the Earth Tree, if we'll manage to do that. I don't think they will still look like that, if that happens. Well. Gideon, do you have anything to say to that? Of course he doesn't. Or maybe he does. Where should I go?
If you're heading to the Forge of the Flame of Ruin, in the snowy mountaintops of the Giants, you'll need to find the Grand Lift of Rold, beyond the Forbidden Region.
Why forbidden?
Go if you would. Take no heed of cardinal sin. The Two Fingers lost their purpose a long, long time ago.
Oh, did they now? Why is everybody suddenly so hostile? Like the Two Fingers were right there the entire time. And suddenly everybody's pretending as if, oh yeah, sure, they're like, we've never really paid attention to them, right? They, yeah, just do whatever you think is good. Okay.
If you're heading to, you'll need to find, go if you would, the Two Fingers.
I had hoped he might give a hint as to where a second part of the secret medallion would be.
Find the Albinoric woman. She hides in a cave to the west of the Laskia ruins.
Why is this still a dialogue option? This is like ages ago.
The medallion's counterpart, I'm sure.
That's about the medallions for the Grand Lift of Dectus, though, right? Not the ones of Rold?
There are 4 more demigods yet to be located. Mikola of the Halig Tree, the Unalloyed, his twin, Melania, the undefeated swordswoman, Luna Princess Rani, daughter to Renala, and the one only known as the Lord of Blood. Rani is said to have cast aside her great rune So here at the Hold, we seek the whereabouts of the remaining 3 shard bearers. If you should learn anything of these matters, I'll trade your findings for a hidden treasure or a long-lost right, known only to me. We both desire to stand before the Elden Ring and become Elden Lord. As such, I hope we are compelled to work together.
Wait, that's for Rold? Really? The Albinauric woman, I talked to her a long time ago. In those ruins. I don't remember mentioning her any kind of whereabouts of the other half of the medallion. Also, I can't talk to her anymore. Isn't she dead? Pretty sure I have her as a summon. Or maybe I should just try and go back there? That's her, right? That's the woman that is in that cave that he mentions the entire time. I don't know. I feel like I didn't really hear any kind of information as to where the other half of the medallion might be. Unless I overlooked something. But I remember specifically looking for that because I was confused that I only had that one part and didn't know where the other one was. And he, like, that dialogue, specific dialogue option, he had that for a very, very long time. And I was always kind of confused by why that was still a thing. I mean, the cave is here, right? The lakeside crystal cave that leads to the slumbering wolf shack. And then I met the woman. I don't think I've ever gained access to any kind of information to where the other side of the medallion might be. Maybe I need to look into that once again. Though I wouldn't really know where to start. Okay, he's just still sitting there. See if anybody else still has anything to say. Nothing, apparently.
Well, I took you for no matter it's out your arms.
Nope. I wonder why he was so down the other day. He suddenly had this dialogue of not, feeling up to the task and being pretty hard on himself. And then he never really mentioned that again. Well, I mean, in the case of the other medallion, I can always just go to the Grand Lift first. I guess take a look at the thing. Take a look at if there are any optional paths. I mean, I still need to find access to a potential other divine tower or something to activate the Great Rune for Morgott. And maybe that'll give me a hint with the medallion. Otherwise, I'll just, I don't know, try and trace back my steps and maybe find out more about where the second half could be. I mean, realistically, you should be able to get both parts of the medallion before you get to the Grand Lift of Rold. I don't know, it would be strange if the second part... I mean, I know it accesses like a hidden passage, apparently, mean, that's what the medallion says, but would they place the second part behind it? I don't know. I feel like that would be weird to find the second part of that particular medallion on the Mountain of the Giants. How strange. I just feel like somehow I've entered... Well, obviously I've entered a very important section of the game, right? No doubt about that, but I also feel like I might be either missing stuff or... I don't really know. I wanted to take a look back here, but then again, Ranni just left, right? Ranni didn't stick around. She just killed off the two fingers and left. I don't think there was anything else here that might have... that might help me. Because I was hoping that maybe if she would still be here, she could sort of help me or give me additional information about what might be up with the two fingers. These are just dead, though. No Ranni to be seen. Which also really makes me wonder what her role will be. I don't really get it, though. Why... Didn't realize his corpse was still here. Poor Wolfie. Lobo. Why is Gideon still talking about... Isn't his dialogue specifically still hinting at this location, though? Why is he still talking about that when I've already been here and talked to the woman? That's a very strange way of giving you information about this. Because now I don't know, did I miss anything here? Did I don't know, maybe not, have I not done this quest correctly? Or am I just not remembering what she potentially told me about where the medallion could be? I mean, if Gideon still has the dialogue option, I guess that means that I should be able to find the other half of the medallion, right? And if I got it, he would either say something else or the dialogue option would disappear. It's bad though, because pretty sure when I last talked to her, she didn't necessarily mention anything about a medallion. Wasn't she just happy that I helped in like clearing out the village of the Albinorics? Oh, right. That could also be it. That there was some task. Right. That might have been a thing that I just forgot about. Yeah, isn't that also why you get her as a spirit summon? Because that's sort of her way of following you on your journey? Well, yeah, where the fuck would her sister be, though? I feel like I have literally no idea or no hint about her whereabouts whatsoever. But yeah, that might very well be a thing that I just didn't fully remember. But then again, I find it weird that I also somehow missed one of these Shabriri grapes in this region. I feel like this quest with Lightseeker Hayeda should have also continued by now. If you don't really have any kind of, like, information at all about that, it's very, very hard to get back into these quests. Because there might have been just some very, very small hint that I completely overlooked or forgot about. How would I remember that? Or how would I be able to re-access that type of information? I feel like, at least with the other quests, with Patch's quest, for example, I was able to follow that purely by just going everywhere I could. And, you know, at some point, I just found him again. No, I need a normal grape still. I have this, which I also found quite weird, to be honest. I have the, what is it called? This one, the fingerprint grape. Which specifically mentions that you're supposed to give that to her, right? But she was always talking just, oh, I need another Shabriri grape. So I feel like I missed one of the normal ones somewhere. I found it very strange that you can't just give her this one if you already have it, but I always thought that I would just get it. But yeah, I'm honestly a little bit at a loss as to where I could have overlooked it. Same with that Albinoric sister, because I feel like I've done quite a lot that was connected to Albinorics. I mean, in Liurnia specifically, there are a bunch of, you know, villages and whatnot where these Albinorics run around. I also found, actually, where was that? I found a place where they were being sacrificed. Isn't that in Mount Gelmir even? I think it was in Mount Gelmir. The Albinorics appear in a lot of places. They don't have access to this specific dialogue anymore. I don't think that she mentioned anything specific though. I feel like I would remember that, or rather I feel like I would have followed that kind of thread immediately if she would have mentioned any sort of specific place. Ah well, before I do that, I guess I need to do the sewers anyway still, so I guess I'm gonna go back there. I do still also have the book though, right? Yes. So I think that's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to go back to... What is actually the fastest way to get there? I guess it doesn't really matter either way. Let's just go from here. Took the other side of Grace the last time, so I think this might actually be the faster route. That actually also makes me wonder if Gold Mask is somehow Maybe that's why he's so still and not really doing anything anymore, because he felt that the thorns are somehow doing something to the Earth Tree and he doesn't really know how to handle that. Or maybe he's actually pointing at the fact that something needs to happen. No. I don't think he would talk to me.
Was that you? Yes, the Master is still ceased. And after coming all this...
Okay, yeah, that's the same. Give the Golden Order Principia.
It is a volume of incantation. It's good to see your enthusiasm. Indeed, I will happily take it off your hands.
Oh, finally not a work of heresy. Well then. Let's see what that even is. Radagon's Rings of Light. Creates Golden Ring of Light to attack a white area. One of the incantations of the Golden Order Fundamentalists, a gift of gratitude to the young Mikella from his father, Radagon. Produces a Golden Ring of Light and fires it across a white area. Charging enhances range. And yet, the young Mikella abandoned fundamentalism, for it could do nothing to treat Malenia's accursed rot. This was the beginning of unalloyed gold. Right. So, somehow Malenia got inflicted with this rot, which ultimately then meant that Mikella will abandon fundamentalism, abandon the Golden Order. And the law of regression. One of the key fundamentals heals all negative statuses, dispels special effects, and reveals mimicry in all its forms. Wow. The fundamentalists describe the Golden Order through the power of regression and causality. Regression is the pull of meaning, that all things yearn eternally to converge. Huh. That's funny. Isn't it sort of the exact opposite of what's happening in our world? Unless they're describing the same thing. Feels like almost as if they're describing entropy, but from another viewpoint. All things yearn eternally to converge, whereas in our case everything's eternally sort of trying to reach its state of equilibrium. I mean, you could look at it as the same thing, just that, I guess from a physics standpoint, equilibrium means that usually things are going into more sort of chaotic motions or trying to get further apart from one another. It's a very interesting way to look at it, though. The pull of meaning. Because typically you wouldn't really, I don't know, I wouldn't think of regression as something being pulled in, and I mean, I guess it's just because we're so used to how our world works, maybe, that the idea of things converging by themselves seems so outlandish. Isn't that kind of weird, though? Because, I mean, obviously these fundamentalists, you know, believing in the Golden Order would think that, but from what we've heard throughout the game so far, it doesn't necessarily seem as if the Golden Order is something that just happens by itself. It very much seems like something that has to be established and also followed and, I guess, kept alive through deeds and faith, right? So the idea that it would sort of occur naturally by things converging, doesn't that seem to be going against what we've learned so far? Which is also, well, obviously probably one of the problems that occurred and ultimately led to the Golden Order not being what it is anymore. This is a quite interesting idea. Okay, so he's still... I guess if we meet Radagon somehow, that's probably going to be the point where he will potentially talk about something else. I think, because I'm very curious about this, I think I want to go to this rolled route first, and hopefully get to Site of Grace here somewhere. And I think once I've done that, I'll think a bit more about where I could potentially go back to and find more information. And also, I might want to clear out the sewers before I continue. Wait, which one was the... What's the quickest way to get to the... Where was this? This is in the sewers, right? The underground roadside? This balcony... I don't want to take the lift. I think this must be the one that I'm looking for. It's actually quite a long way back up to the to where the seal was, Morgott's seal. Which I mean, I said so last time, but I really expected there to be a Site of Grace next to the seal. Kind of strange that there wasn't, because that means that I now have to run back to it. Not a big deal overall, but a bit strange. Oh, for fun. I hate it when enemies jump back. I think I should be able to just run past most of them, though, hopefully. Oh, well. It's a bit unfortunate that I forgot to bring the elevator back down last time, though. He isn't quite sure about whether or not he wants to attack me or not. I know that FromSoft loves their big, like, elevators and stuff, but a structure like this seems to be kind of crazy, all things considered. Oh, hello. What the hell are you doing here? When you really think about what it would take to build something like this in real life, the fact that these kinds of elevators are all over the place here, yeah. Definitely kind of crazy. Now the seal is just gone. So, well, I guess Morgott obviously knew about the Flame of the Giants, and therefore probably sealed this entrance so that nobody could take it, but wouldn't that imply that Morgott already saw the possibility of someone possibly trying to burn down the Earth Tree? I wonder at what point he possibly constructed the seal. I wonder if he maybe realized that the thorns were impenetrable and therefore tried to maybe, you know, maybe he realized fairly early on that the only way to get through them would potentially be by going to the Flame of the Giants. So because of that, he then said, well, if that's a threat, I'm just going to seal it off. It could very well be that that was sort of his line of thinking. I still find it somehow funny that most enemies on horseback are actually... Wait, do we need to kill the horse in order to get... I feel like the horse is still counted as an enemy somehow. That's weird. But yeah, except for the first tree sentinel, I think most other enemies on horseback honestly feel somewhat underwhelming after that. Poor horsey. Do I have to kill you? I kind of don't want to, but why is it running away? I feel like do they count as like one entity or something? Where the fuck are you? Seriously? Or maybe I overlooked it and I still got runes for him as well. That was weird. I've never seen that before, I think. That the horse was still alive, but the guy was dead. Oh wait, what? Wait, did the small one turn into the big one, or did the small one disappear? Oh well. All, I don't know, this feels off somehow. I expected there to be a side of grace here somewhere fairly early on. This isn't the lift, however, right? So... Oh. Ah, that's the Divine Tower that I've been looking for. Okay, so it branches off of this path. I wonder what the last Divine Tower is about then. I mean, as Gideon said, we are still missing demigods, so... Aren't we missing more demigods than there are Divine Towers left, though? Or do they not all have a rune? That's a very long path. It feels like something's going to be on that path. This is even... Oh, this is an elevator, right? Wait, does it go down? I would have thought this would go up, not down. Well, I suspect there's going to be a side of grace down there, probably. I mean, there kind of has to be. Why are there so many bloodstains here? What the hell have people been doing? That is... Okay, so down first, and then I guess we have to go back up somehow? This is very far down. Also looks like it very foggy. there's the Site of Grace. Yeah, this looks weird. What is that red mist in the... Is this also rotten or the Forbidden Lands? Definitely sounds like something... Oh, why do we still have Guidance of Grace here? That actually does make me wonder where the guidance is coming from. Wait, what is... Oh yeah, Forbidden Lands is there. Huh. So, makes me wonder if this fog is somehow magical. It almost seems to be too dense to be natural. Especially with these weird red patterns in the air. Ooh, hello. Is that a coincidence, or is that looking like a face? Well, let me just quickly activate the summoning pool. It might just be a big rock. I don't know anymore. Is this even snow? I think it is, but it looks eerily similar to the white stuff in the capital, which seems to be more like sand. Well, at least now I have the Site of Grace, so let's check out if there's anything barring my path to the Divine Tower that I need to kill. Also, maybe from this point I have a bit more of a good vantage point over where I'm supposed to go. It doesn't look like it. I mean, in general, this place seems to be very, very foggy. I mean, they said that it's placed above the clouds, right? Which I guess now makes sense. That's the boulder that I saw, right? Well, I guess it's because of those big faces, or those big, I don't know, giant skeleton-looking thing. What? Hello? Am I still on the bridge? What the hell is going on? Is this just... Is this where I came from? I think it is. Or not? Am I in some eternally dark place now? What the hell is going on? That looked... Oh, hello. Hell Twin. Ew, it's those things. Why are they... What the fuck is going on? Why are they here? And why did it take so long for them to appear? I don't know, did they have to walk all the way from the other side of the bridge towards me, or what? Oh shit. Oh, that's like one of those dudes in the sewers as well. Why is it dark though? Are they able to do that? Ooh. Also, the soundscape here is really eerie. Omen Killer Rollo. What? Huh? What the hell just happened? Well, let's activate this real quick before it gets dark again. Is it gonna get dark again if I walk across the bridge, or is that now gone? What the hell was that? How were these... Now I'm on the bridge, right? Yeah. Divine Tower of East Altus Gate. How are these things able to turn everything dark? It seemed as if they were transporting me in some sort of alternate dimension or something. That looked very strange. Oh, hey, Melina.
Think not of the kindling. I shall see to that. All I ask of you is to make the journey to the snowy mountaintops of the giants, far above the clouds. I know I'm asking you to commit a cardinal sin, but it must be done to reach the path beyond, and that is the path I wish to travel. What is your mind?
I still wonder why she's suddenly so sure about that. Why is she suddenly... Well, shit, I thought she was going to comment on what just happened here. I guess not. So wait, is she going to be the one that can... what was it? That can ignite the flame? She can do that? Okay, sure. I'd be my guest, I guess. Okay, I want to see... Can I... Is it gonna turn dark again if I run across the bridge? Probably not, right? What just happened here? And why did these weird things appear? Because those are technically also the enemies that you can see or find in the sewers in the capital as well. What are they doing here, and why are they able to do that? Or how were they able to do that? To turn everything dark all of a sudden. Okay, it's definitely not happening again anymore. Which definitely makes sense, considering that I killed them, but... What the The effect was awesome, though. That was just really, really unexpected. I don't even really know what to say to that. That was, I find it interesting that it's all of a sudden it turned dark. And I guess from a technical standpoint, they actually unload the level around you, because I think it was practically a dark black plane that I was fighting on. But then when it turns light again, they do load you back in here and transport you right to the front of the tower. It's quite an interesting way of how they've done that. It's just... It was such an awesome and unique effect that I'm just kind of surprised that they used it here specifically. Also, what does that mean? I mean, the path to this tower in and of itself was already blocked off. Why were these things here? Were they trying to protect the tower, or were they some sort of weird leftover curse that Morgott left here for whatever reason? Wait, it was a Godskin duo? Yeah, that sounds harder, actually. Not that these things can't be hard. I mean, they can also be pretty hard, which I learned the hard way in the sewers. When there's like 3 of them, almost all at once. Especially without summons, they can be very, very annoying. Well, I got sort of lucky because the second one didn't even attack for a long time, while we were, like, my Mimic and I were just fighting the first one. Did they change this encounter? Because if they did, that would be weird. Or maybe there's some sort of other trigger that changes what appears here? Potentially? Because a Godskin duo in front of the Divine Tower would make a bit more sense, I feel like. Because now I'm sort of thinking, well, what are these guys doing here? Either way, the fact that they can turn the environment dark like that, if that is an actual power within this world, that seems to be very, very, well, powerful. And I feel like something that would be employed more often. Interesting. This time around, we don't get a Site of Grace at the top of the tower. Ooh, we can say... is that Stormmail? Might be, right? That is kind of crazy. That's always so cool when you can sort of look back onto what you've done throughout the game. Oh, never mind. There's the Site of Grace. Why is it here this time? Sometimes they place it on top of the elevator, and now it's on top of the tower itself. Okay. And I guess, why not? Morgott's Great Room. I don't think Melina has anything to say to this, does she? No. Rykard's Radahn Morgott's. Greatly raises maximum HP. That's an interesting effect. Its blessing greatly raises maximum HP. It's the anchor ring that houses the base and proves 2 things. That the Omen King was born of the Golden Lineage, and that he was indeed the Lord of Lanedale. Oh. So the Lord of Lanedale gets the base of the Elden Ring? The anchor ring? Guess that makes sense. What's with the other demigods then, though? Do they also... I mean, Ranni doesn't have... Well, she has the Rune of Death, right? Or had? We can look at the mountaintop from here, but I don't think there's going to be much info that you can really gather. I mean, it's clearly a pretty long path, but other than that, not really much you would be able to see from here. I actually saw that as well, that there were some apparently some nerfs to dual bosses that weren't mentioned in patch notes or something. I just saw like I didn't watch the video, but I think I got recommended a YouTube video or something of that sort that had a caption that said something along those lines. Some secret nerfs done to Elden Ring or something. That would be weird though. I feel like, I mean, yeah, I can see a Godskin duo, especially in a dark room like that, being pretty annoying. Because I think it must have then been the like the thin one, the thin Godskin one, and the big one, right? The fat one. And I can see them being pretty annoying because they have pretty big range, and their rolling attack can be pretty annoying. That is still, I don't know, that would be a weird decision though. Doesn't that completely change? Because isn't there a reason why these Godskin guys are associated with the Divine Towers? I mean, I found the thin one, the Godskin Apostle, at the base of the one in Caelid. One of the fat ones is protecting the one in Liurnia. So thematically, it would have made sense for them to be here as well. So to then just, if they did that, to just exchange them for two other things that are potentially not connected to this at all, seems to be a very, very strange decision, to be honest. And while I can see two of the Godskin guys being very annoying, they're not impossible to defeat either, right? I mean, once you know their attack patterns, and the fact that it's a dual boss remains, right? I mean, the crucial problem with dual bosses is not who you're fighting, but rather that you're fighting two at the same time at all, right? Because that can always create this weird situations where they sort of stagger their attacks in a weird way, where it's very, very difficult to get through, or depending on how they move and how they attack, sometimes it's easier and sometimes it's harder to separate them from one another and those kinds of things. So it almost felt to me, in other FromSoft games as well, dual bosses almost felt like you also needed a bit of luck. Or, well, you didn't need luck, but it never felt as if the fights were always sort of on the same difficulty, right? They can vary greatly depending on certain factors that the AI decides to just sort of randomly do, and so they've never really been able to nail dual bosses, I feel like. Though one of my favorite fights in Bloodborne is actually triple boss, Shadows of Yharnam. But then again, in that particular fight, it actually feels as if they've properly designed them to be 3 enemies at once, because they have very, very different attacks to one another, and also you can like, if you know how they work and know that at certain HP thresholds their like their attacks change. If you know that, you can take advantage of that, right, and focus one down specifically, for example, and avoid their stronger attacks as well. In that particular case, it feels like they've actually designed them to be together as a triple boss. Whereas I feel like in most other cases, especially here in Elden Ring, it just feels like they said, oh, you know, we don't have enough bosses to fill all the boss rooms that we created, so let's just randomly throw 2 in at the same time, even though they're not even designed to be bosses together. Which is, you know, it's not a big deal overall, because I feel like the boss variety in Elden Ring is still pretty stellar. Like, there are a bunch of different ones, but it also, I think the overall amount of boss encounters in Elden Ring is probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 times as much as another FromSoft title, so probably would have been near on impossible to create enough bosses for every single encounter, unique ones, that is. But I still find, I don't know, I wish instead of, if they did that, instead of just changing them for other mobs, I wish they would specifically go in and maybe, you know, if they place 2 Godskin Nobles here in the first place, or Godskin Apostle and a Godskin Noble, I wish they would then go in and maybe specifically activate or deactivate certain attacks in duel fights depending on what's happening during the fight, or maybe just in general deactivate certain attacks that can be pretty unfair if they both target you at the same time or stagger you in a weird way. I don't know. I think it's a bit unfortunate that they just throw in those bosses and they just act the exact same way they would do in a solo fight, just together. It's a bit of a There was a mind control item? Really? Was that during the Chalice dungeon somewhere? Does Bloodborne, outside of the Chalice dungeons, Bloodborne doesn't really have any kind of other dual bosses, or am I just not? Which one was it? That would, I don't know, is there even something like that in Elden Ring? That would actually also be pretty cool. Though then again, that would be pretty much OP, right? I mean, the Mimic already is. Or not even the Mimic, the fact that you can summon pretty much, well, I wouldn't say trivializes dual fights, but it certainly, it equalizes the playing field to a point where it becomes potentially even easier than a single fight if you do a single fight solo. Okay. So, I've gotten the... Have I even looked at the description of the rune? I have, right? Yeah, I have. I did. Well, that brings me back to the question of what I want to do. So before I continue here, I definitely want to clean out the sewers. I want to know what's up with that. Why they exist in the first place. But I still... Now I'm sort of annoyed that I don't really know what to do with that medallion thing. Also, let me talk to Millicent for a second, because she was talking... Wasn't she talking about Melania? I feel I remember that. Is she still here? Sometimes it's really strange that these NPCs, like, you meet them, and they just stand here for like a very, very long time.
I'm tracing the path Melania took. She's passed into the lands that lie beyond the Erd Tree.
Oh. Well, now I'm glad that I went back. That's what that item is for. What the fuck? Well, that's... What the hell? How are you supposed to know that? I don't think the... I mean, I guess if you remember that she had her arm cut off, it's a connection that you can make. Definitely nothing I thought of. I didn't know what to do with these Valkyries. Prosthetic? How do you pronounce that? Prosthesis? Prosthesis? Well, sure.
Giving me this arm. Thank you. I am in your debt yet again. I think if the arm serves well enough, it might be possible for me to wield a sword again.
Well, that was interesting. Yeah, definitely worth going back and talking to NPCs. And now the arm's gone from my inventory, right? Yeah. Wait, do I have... I gave all the death root that I had to the Beast King, right? Yeah.
If the arm answer. It might be perhaps that...
Okay, let's see. Gonna rest at the site of grace for a minute here. Well, that was something that I didn't expect. Wait, where the hell did I find that prosthetic? Didn't I get that here somewhere in the Shade Castle? Or was it in Mount Gelmir somewhere? It's just so strange because it's not... It feels like it wasn't necessarily... It's part of the Old Hunters DLC? I only played through that once, so... I don't know. But it only had 5 bosses, right? Or maybe it was the hunters that sometimes come up in duos. I don't think I've ever used any mind control stuff in Bloodborne, though. Definitely used it in Sekiro, but I don't think you can use it on bosses there either. Because in Sekiro you need to kill somebody in order to use it on them, right? Very fun, though. Okay. Let's rest here. Let's see. Does she put it on? Or she just disappears. Great. That's always the best thing. When the NPCs just go off somewhere and you have absolutely no idea where the hell they went. I guess, I mean, if she's gonna go beyond into the lands of... Beyond the land... No, what did she say? Beyond the lands of the Erdtree? I guess I'm probably gonna meet her again in this area somewhere. I just hope that she doesn't appear here somewhere and I potentially missed her new location. I guess might as well take a look at a couple of other NPCs. Though then again... Well, I've gotten a couple of key items, but... So she still says the same thing. I guess, sure, let's just go back to Alexander as well. I don't think he's gonna have anything new to say, though. I don't even really remember what he was talking about the last time. He was still talking about becoming stronger, but also... He gave something to me last time I went to him, right? Some weapon? I actually never thought about that before, trying to do the double jump in the lava. Hi.
Perhaps I'll head eastward. There's an old saying I've caught wind of. Above the lofty clouds, the icy giant's peak doth...
Right. He was talking about going to that mountain as well. So I think after a certain point we're going to meet him there as well. It's interesting that he doesn't move, though. He's just sitting here. I guess he's going to move at some point, but until then, not much is happening. Wait, did something follow me? And oh no, never mind. That's the I think that's the soldiers fighting against the flame monks. Let's see. Been a while since I talked to you.
Hello again. Do you know what a poacher is, cuz? They hunt us, smash us, and then take us away. This village is kept secret, so I think we're safe here. But you should be careful if you ever meet one of them, cuz I hope Uncle Alexander beats them all up first. Those awful poachers. I hope Uncle Alexander beats them all up.
Not entirely sure if that's the same dialogue that I got here last time, but it was definitely not helpful. Sure, I guess you could tell me where it is. I don't think I would have any chance of finding it, to be completely honest. I would probably have to more or less go to every place again and just hope to randomly find it. Because the normal ones you just get from those ghosts, right? I think. Oh, no, at least that was the first one. The first one I got, I definitely remember, is the ghost in Stromberg Castle, right? And then after that, you, I don't know, go somewhere else. Where was the second one? Don't you get the second one, like, pretty close to where she is at first? Or rather, she is behind Stormwell Castle at first, and then she moves down to that one sort of place where the ruins are, and very, very close to that there is another guy that pretty much gives you a grape, which I found to be very weird, because I also remember that I actually specifically went back and sort of looked in the surroundings here, because I thought that the next one would be here, somewhat fairly close to her.
Hello? Would you donate any sugar? I'm on a pilgrimage, and when I eat...
Yeah, I can't give her the last one. Other than that, I guess. So the medallion itself doesn't give me any kind of right house, but Italian brandishing the medallion with Bull's house conjoined will activate brand with gold. Secret medallion will guide the bearer to the land of Michaela's Havoc Tree. Whatever that means. The key items in general are also a bit weird. I mean, I guess it makes sense that you keep the scroll in your inventory, considering that you just show it to Sellen. But I wish they wouldn't do that, because that way, at least with miniature Ranni, they specifically mention that it's only an empty husk now and there's no response. So okay, this is done, basically. But with this, even though I already showed it to her, it still mentions the same thing, which is really difficult to keep track of stuff. And then I just randomly have this, and I have no idea what to do with it. Which then again, considering that I also randomly got that arm, and suddenly was able to give it to that woman that I just talked to and already forgot the name of. Just disappeared. I also have this. Though I guess that could come into play later. West side of the lake. Wait, this entire lake? This one? Or Or is there another hut here somewhere? There's this one. It's not the west side though, right? If it's a very, very little hut, then maybe that explains why I haven't found it. I thought I had been pretty thorough. But then again, it's a very big place, so guess it could be easy to miss. Yeah, it is this one. Is it just next to it though? Because I feel like I would remember if there would have been a grape here. Unless it's just close to the hut and not specifically in it. Or do you have to do something with the NPC that appears here? Am I locked out of this because I did something wrong with his quest? And he invaded me here? The first time I came here, I was invaded by the... whatever his name was, of the fort on the Weeping Peninsula. Because I think I failed to save his daughter. If there is a way to save her, which I assume there would be. So maybe that's how you get the grape, but then I would find that very weird if that completely locked you out of some completely unrelated questline. Maybe it's that ghost over there? Wait, let me talk to him real quick. What's even going on here? Are you dead? Or are you sleeping? Since when are all these guys dead? I don't know, usually this seems like a very obvious ghost though. Poor fellow, gone perfectly mad. Is he talking about the guy that was in the Revenge shack? Love, revenge, the frenzied flame melts it all away. Huh. I don't think I've talked to this ghost before though. So he's commenting on the guy. Potentially hinting at the fact maybe he tried the frenzied flame in order to take revenge for his daughter? And that's what made him mad? I mean, at least in that sense it would make sense if he would leave behind a Shabriri grape, right? Because aren't they connected to madness in some form? But, or do you have to... Maybe I killed him... No, that doesn't make sense. It might just be that I missed something. Also, there isn't really anything here that would, that's connected to the shack at all, right? Isn't this just this place pretty much? Or did I miss some sort of cave? I don't think I've ever noticed all these dead beasts here, though. Biggest problem about all of this is that you don't have any kind of hint as to where it could be. If it's not this one. The staff with the medallions, with the other side of the medallion as well. I need to talk to, Gideon again. But the way he says it, he only gives you the hint about the woman herself, right? He doesn't...
She hides in a cave
in the cave to the west of Lesker Ruins, yeah, that's where I found her.
She knows the location of the medallion.
Okay, yeah, so he literally doesn't say anything that would help me. But I also... have I ever heard about another Elbenoric woman that could potentially be her sister? That would have another side of the medallion? With these kinds of things, you don't even really know where to look. I mean, the map, not only is the map almost too large for that, to just randomly find stuff, but also... I wouldn't really... I don't think there is another place that is specifically connected to Elbenorics. At least not that I can recall. Is there another NPC that would potentially still be worth talking to? Also, where the hell did Bok go? That's actually another thing that I can look at. Is he still sitting in Renala's chamber? No, I definitely killed the guy in the Revenger's shack. That's... he invades you there, right? The first time I went there, I got invaded, and I killed the guy. But... I mean, obviously I don't remember 100%, but I don't think that he dropped a grape. Or maybe he did? But I also... So I definitely got a grape here. From that one ghost. And I'm fairly certain that there was another ghost somewhere over here. Because these ruins is where Lightseeker Hayeda appears afterwards, right? You meet her here for the first time on the lake-facing cliffs. Then she goes here, and I'm pretty certain there's like a ghost somewhere really, really close by that gives you another Shabriri grape. Because I remember being slightly confused why they made it so easy in that particular instance. And I also definitely killed the guy that invades you here in the Revenger's shack. Unless there is some sort of... because the guy that invaded me here is the one that at one point ruled over Castle Morn, right? It's the guy that you meet there. At least I'm fairly certain he is. So if he drops that, I don't know, but I don't think going here first... Well, first of all, I don't think that I went there first. I definitely talked to Lightseeker Hayeda before that. Because I pretty much did the zone more or less chronologically. So I went like these places first. before I went to the shack. That's it's strange because yeah, the ghost here on the lake specifically talks about him getting frenzied, basically, right? Which then it would make sense that he would have a Shabriri grape. That's strange. Okay, what did I want to do? Oh, right, I wanted to take a look at... Oh, what the fuck? Did he die? What the hell? Fuck, I knew it wasn't a good idea to give him that larval tear. What happened? Did I have to give him something else? But the last time I talked to him, he wouldn't say anything. What did you do?
Art thou now assured?
She doesn't say anything. What the hell?
Be not alarmed. I would birth thee.
What the fuck happened? He's dead, right? Shit. Well, certainly fucked that up. Shouldn't have given him that. Or maybe you need to... But he wanted to. Maybe that just doesn't work, but... When you don't have her rune or something? Well, that's something that I definitely... well... I felt like it was a bad idea to give him the larval tier, but then again, everything concerning NPCs in this game seems like a bad idea. They always want stuff they either shouldn't have or... Well, you never quite know what happens. I feel like... Is there anybody else that... Let me talk to Yura again. Man, it's been some time since I've been here. Hi.
You must not forget though, those who put their
Okay,
until the flood the strength is no
nothing new to say. Aren't you going to comment on my eyes clearly being completely changed? Which I assume is connected to the Dragon Communion? Oh well. Okay, how the hell would I be able to get any sort of hint as to where an Albinoric woman might be? Actually, I should probably go back to the sage here. It's been a while since I talked to him. Maybe he's going to comment on how I've helped the girl with the arm. Let's see. I don't know why he would necessarily comment on that, or rather why he would care. Well, I mean, to be completely fair, he did care about her, I think, but I don't know. Honestly, at this point, I'm sometimes just really, really surprised what the different NPCs are all about all the time. Why?
Please make certain that little Millicent
Millicent, right.
unharmed. Like her mother, she has the stuff to be a great warrior, but commands only one arm and is yet preciously young.
Hopefully he's not gonna say, "Oh, shit! Now you doomed her," or whatever.
So you gave Millicent a golden arm replacement.
Indeed, I did.
This is a wonderful development.
Oh,
Thank you for your kindness. Now Millicent may fully realize her true warrior's potential, like her beautiful mother.
Did he just say mother or mama? Sounded like he was saying mama.
The girl, Millicent, she is a bird, green and undeveloped, waiting to flower into magnificence. What a wondrous day that will be. In truth, before her, I'd never seen a bud of such superior quality. She might very well outshine her sisters.
Wait, she has sisters? What the hell? I'm starting to dislike the way he's talking about her. I mean, with the way how creepy he looks, right? At first I was really wary of talking to him about her at all, but then he honestly just seemed to want to help her, which subsequently he actually did. But now he's starting to get creepy again, so I don't know if he's really interested in her well-being or more in her potential. Does he still have anything that I haven't... Have I not bought this from him? Oh well.
Do you have an interest in rot incantations? Then you might like to learn something of the history.
Sure.
Of Melania, goddess of scarlet rot.
Tell me about it.
Queen Marika and her king consort Radagon were blessed with twin demigods, and Melania was one of them. She was born an Empyrean carrying the scarlet rod. An Empyrean is no mere demigod. In the age of the Elden Ring and Queen Marika, the precious Empyrean was born, a new god to forge a new order. Since Melania fought Radahn, and the great scarlet flower blossomed in Aeonia, I have dedicated myself to her, and to the resplendence of the Order of Rot, the cycle of decay and rebirth.
Desperate prayer. Okay. So... I guess the way he tells it, or whatever he believes, seems to be that the Scarlet Rot would be a new order. Okay. Meaning that... Maybe that's the general idea, that these sort of these orders counterbalance each other. So you have a phase of the Golden Order, where everything sort of blooms and flourishes, and you know, everybody's wealthy. And then the next phase is the Scarlet Rot that decays everything away, but then also allows for things to be reborn. Let's just get these. Ooh.
Do you...
Did not exactly expect him to have that additional line of dialogue after you buy the incantation from him. That seems very... How the hell are you supposed to know that? And also, I'm pretty sure that the reason I didn't buy the incantation the first time was probably because I didn't have enough runes for it. So... Well, good luck getting that dialogue. That's definitely very easily missable. Haven't talked to this guy in a while. Might as well. Tja. Man, with this Albinoric woman stuff. I feel like once I know where to look, or if I knew where to look, or rather if I you guys should probably leave me alone. I feel like that's not gonna end very well for you. Well, I told you. But the thing is, an Albinoric sister, that seems like such a specific thing, right?
My search for a true and stalwart.
I wonder if his questline is going somewhere. Or if I missed something here as well. It seems so random. He's just standing around, beasts still ransacking his castle. Nothing's really happening. He's just chilling here. He doesn't even really care about the fact that a giant meteor crashed right into the ground next to his castle and that there are floating stones all over the place. Yeah, he's just standing there. Oh yeah, I must find somebody to be my successor. Honestly, there aren't even that many more NPCs to talk to. I mean, I could always just continue for the time being, and ultimately maybe I'll get lucky and find some more information somewhere, or maybe it's actually hidden in the places I still need to go to. So yeah. Let me maybe one last time try to remember what kind of place could this Albinoric sister be connected to? Where did I go that might have potentially talked about that? Let me actually take a look. There aren't any NPCs in the underground anymore, are there? I think it's just the two merchants. Definitely checked out this cave as well, right? I just wanted to make sure. Wait, this is where you first enter the cave, though. It's not even the one with the seal. Man, do these places have to be so giant? They should actually let you summon your horse here once you've killed the boss. It actually looks quite beautiful down here. Ah, well, at least that's good to know. Thanks about that, yeah. Okay, if I can't get the other half yet, then that's fine. Yeah. I would have been somewhat surprised if I had missed that, because I feel like that is something that even if I hadn't paid attention to it, it still would have just randomly popped up somewhere. Simply for the fact that oh right, I completely forgot about that. This just leads up to the, yeah, okay. Right. Well then, I don't think that there is anybody else I could talk to and potentially look at if there is any kind of quest line going on. So I think it's actually time to tackle these sewers. Do I want to... if I start this now, it's going to take a while. I have a feeling... kind of want to know where they lead, though. Oh, right, I completely forgot. Let's see, I unlocked this. I unlocked this side of grace. Right, where did I actually go last time? Over to the staircase, right? Oh well. Might as well try this one more time. There was this one guy that gave me trouble the last time I was here. Okay. What? Oh. Nice. Yeah, slightly debating with myself whether or not I should use the FP. Might want to use them later on. Can you stop running down there? Thank you. Oh, hello. Did I ever check out this side of the... I should probably turn on my light. Oh, seriously? Did it? That was weird. Felt like I was stuck on the ground somewhere. Okay. I completely forgot about that as well. Well, so much for saving FP. There's a bunch more of you guys somewhere here, right? You I can just shoot down. There's the next one. Oh. Bad timing. There's another one. I think aside from that, that was all of them here, if I remember correctly. Is he gonna run over? Yes. No, he's not. Okay. Can you please just... Slightly nerve-wracking that you hear steps the whole time. Somewhere. Okay. Well, honestly, I'm really not that convinced of the HP replenishing talisman. That's just That just takes too long, to be completely honest. I don't know. Do I want to keep this? Do I want to go back? I feel like... Let's equip this one and go back to the intelligence one. Because I also think that the increased attack power, I mean, it's certainly not bad, but it's not that important overall. Okay, last time I was here, he was really giving me a lot of trouble. I wish I could get a sneak attack on him or something. Or at least some way to... But I think if I stand up, he's... Oh, no, maybe not. Oh, well, that worked. Nope. Definitely underestimated that range. Oh, for fuck's sake, there's a wall behind here? God, I hate his timings. What the... Well, that was close. I thought he was doing his breath attack again, and then he started to do these target-seeking head things. Shadow bait. That sounds cool. Why the fuck did they have to place so many of these guys down here in the sewers? Okay. What's the point of this, though? I can open this up, but that just leads back to where the whole area starts, doesn't it? Well, I guess now it's open. Isn't this just... Oh yeah, this is literally right next to where this whole thing starts. Huh. Well, that's strange. So... What exactly was the point of this? Try behind? Is there a way to open this? Or is there like a secret passage? I mean, this almost looks like there would be some sort of secret behind this, as if this could move. Is there like a second... It's also the only way this would make sense. Because I think I don't even have any other way to go to. Is there maybe another lever somewhere that I missed or ran by? Or is there a way to... I mean, I can also drop down, so maybe there's another way to open that up? I mean, if that allows you to come here more easily... Oh, well, then again, it just sort of loops around, doesn't it? I mean, the thing is, you can jump down here, right? At least I've activated the shortcut as well. So I suspect this guy's gonna respawn. Oh, you can actually see at least like an opening behind in the wall. Well, do I just try go further down? It's honestly getting pretty late, which is why I was thinking, I was actually debating with myself whether or not I wanted to continue, but killing this one guy was at least kind of a cool idea. Can I sneak past this guy? I don't think so, right? Yeah, I think he definitely notices you. Oh, I should probably take a look at what I got here, though. Was that an incantation, or was it, Oh, it's this one, right? Shadow Bait. Ooh, incantation of the Two-Fingered Servants, who once served as the assassins of the Round Table Hold. Creates a pale gold shadow before the caster, luring foes of human build and attracting their aggression. This incantation can be cast while in motion or crouching and will still affect foes that are already in a combat state. Oh, it's said that those beguiled by the shadows see within it a hated foe. That actually sounds pretty awesome. Well, unfortunately I can't just equip it, right? So I can also just try killing this guy, to be completely honest. Man, I hate their timings. And also their range. Oh. That is such an annoyingly crazy attack. I always forget how far that reaches. Oop. Seriously. Oh, finally. This guy isn't as threatening as the other one. I don't know, they have so many varied attacks that they can be very difficult to deal with. Oh, for fuck's sake. Thank you. I was halfway expecting the other guy to kill me from behind. Though, I just remembered, the Site of Grace isn't actually here, is it? It's much further ahead. Yeah, let's just go back to this one. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. If I'm going to stop here anyway. Not a very nice place to camp out, but oh well. Can't always just choose your your camping spots, I guess. I do want to equip that though. I would be very interested to see. Well, first of all, I'm going to change up my heal. Not that I'll ever use it, but who knows. And then Cure Poison, Cure Rot stuff is good. Flame Sling, not bad. I think I've actually never really used this Dragon Claw, to be completely honest. Okay, so where would it be actually? Do this. I do want to test that though. What does it do exactly? Let's see. So I could crouch, for example, and then I can... Okay. Doesn't stay around for very long. I guess that they'll... Okay. Somehow I thought this was going to be way more effective. Oh. Okay, it is. You can actually throw it quite far away. I wish they... Honestly, I wish they would show you, like, a throw trajectory or something. That is kind of weird that it's actually quite hard to aim. That's pretty cool, though. That is actually pretty cool. That might be very, very beneficial, especially against bigger foes like this. If you can, like, lure them away and just sneak around behind them, might be a viable way of traversing levels like these. If there are a couple of really annoying enemies here. Okay. Well, that's gonna be it for now, though. I mean, I've achieved quite a lot, I would say. Not the most beautiful background I've ever found. Oh well. Yeah, I've actually done quite a lot. Finished the capital for the time being. Actually, also was able to go to the Divine Tower, activate the Great Rune, and did a bunch of NPC stuff as well. So, yeah. Next time is going to be more exploring these sewers. Hopefully this is not going to take too long, because, yeah, sewers really aren't my preferred type of level. Though I am quite intrigued what I'm going to find here. I hope it's not another one of those cursed worms. Those weird flailing boss enemies. Really don't want to encounter another one of those, but that being said, I like those the sort of pipe aesthetic. I find that really, really interesting. I don't know how much sense that actually makes. I don't know if pipes theoretically can be built out of bricks like that, especially across those larger distances. I feel like that's some creative liberty that has been taken there, but oh well. It still makes for a very interesting level. The overall level design, I feel, is very, very interesting. These bigger enemies that have quite a large health pool, obviously they're an interesting challenge to fight. So that's, on one hand, that's kind of cool. They do make the traversal here a little bit annoying. I guess next time I'll take a look at whether or not I can drop down somewhere, potentially find other ways of accessing that, or potentially moving that statue. Yeah, and then afterwards, I guess it's off to the mountaintop of the giants, which I find interesting because for the first time, it actually feels like it's somewhat narrow in terms of the paths that I can take for most of the game, which makes sense considering that's a very open, that it's a very open world game. I always had like so many places that I could still go, and like I honestly feel it's kind of refreshing to have this one path still before me. And then I guess, well, first of all, I think that Mountaintop of the Giants is actually going to take a while. That still does look like somewhat of a decent-sized area. And especially considering how far it winds up the mountain, it will probably take a while. And then I don't really know where this is going, to be completely honest. I mean, obviously, just judging by the descriptions and everything that I've read and seen, Miquella and Malenia are going to play some role in this. and so I'd imagine we still encounter them, as well as the Lord of Blood. Those are the three that have been mentioned by Gideon. So somehow that will still be connected to all of this. I don't really know how, if we're going to meet all of them on that mountain, or if there's going to be some sort of other change. Ultimately, if we are actually going to burn down the Earth Tree, I have no idea if that has any sort of lasting implications. If maybe at the end of the day, the Earth Tree is just going to disappear, though that would be... that would be crazy. Which I find... The thing while I'm sort of not quite sure about this is... Obviously, I don't know how the game ends. So, typically, as I said before, FromSoft games just loop around and start off with a new game plus, right? So they have like a proper ending. But since this is open world, I don't know. I kind of expect them to go with the, I guess, open world standard of letting you choose whether to enter New Game Plus or to keep exploring the world. I mean, it would be kind of crazy to have such a vastly expanding open world and then force the player into New Game Plus as soon as you enter the game. But I'm quite interested in how they're going to do that. If some sort of really, really big event, like actually burning the Earth Tree, even to a degree, is how the game ends, or potentially ends, then is it going to stay in that status, or are they going to sort of do this thing where they rewind time a bit and pretend as if the last cutscene hasn't happened yet, and then let you re-explore the world? That's going to be quite interesting to see. And yeah, overall, no idea what that'll mean, that the Earth Tree gets burned. If we're going to do that, I mean, there might come up that there is something else that we might want to do as well. And then how does this all end? Because wasn't the original idea of becoming Elden Lord connected to the Earth Tree? I mean, how do you become... I guess the runes are the important part? It doesn't necessarily have to do with the Earth Tree itself? Yeah, definitely still a lot of questions that need answering. But yeah, next time, a little bit more of these sewers, hopefully not that much longer, and then off to the mountaintop of the giants, seeing what lies beyond. That's going to be it for now, though. I hope I can somehow stitch the VOD back together, because I had that one crash in the middle for some reason. No idea why Elden Ring suddenly decided to crash. Yeah, other than that, it's been a great time. Made a lot of progress, had a lot of fun, and hopefully I'll see you back on the next one. I hope you have a great rest of your evening, morning, day, wherever you are. Until then, bye-bye.